Hey, everybody. I am so excited to welcome Allison Shelley to our client interview spotlight today. Thanks so much for joining us, Allison.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Allison is a nurse practitioner, a nurse coach, and a yoga instructor. So, we'd love to hear more about you, Allison. Can you tell us about your background and give us an introduction?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Allison. I have been a nurse since 2014. I worked in the cardiac ICU and then in mother baby before becoming a family nurse practitioner. So now I'm a primary care provider at a community health clinic in Seattle. And I started my nurse coaching business this year, and I work a lot on mental health and things like that, and along with yoga. Since I do teach yoga as well. But that's kind of my brief nursing background.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Awesome. So, I'd love to hear if you could give everybody a background on when you first started. I'd love to hear kind of where you were at and where you wanted to go.
Yeah, definitely. I had a friend who I met in college, and she had become a nurse coach, and she had done the training through International Nurse Coach Association. And I had just started watching her, and I found everything she was doing really interesting and very holistic based. And being a nurse practitioner now and in the community, I see a lot of those gaps in healthcare. And so I wanted to do something like that. I found the nurse coaching and I was doing that training, but I didn't really have any other direction, or I'm not a business person, so I didn't have any of that. So I was in the middle of the nurse coach training when I found Heather on Facebook, and that's kind of where I was. No business experience at all.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. Yeah, perfect. So I'd love to hear what you accomplished during our work together.
Yeah. So while we were working together, I was able to launch my Facebook group. I launched my website. I launched my program. I created this whole massive coaching program with 5 different tracks of healthcare and for mental health. And I did sign a client and I got started basically doing everything. And social media was a big one for me too, because I really had no idea what I was doing social media wise. So really, I mean, starting with you and to now, I was able to just completely start my business from the ground up, and I'm now up and running. So that's amazing.
Yeah, you've done so amazing. I'm so proud of you for the progress that you've made and everything that you've accomplished. It's so cool. And, incredible how you have 5 different tracks of your program. Like you really went above and beyond in your program. And I love your work ethic. I love, the dedication that you have to what you do. It's just incredible. So I'd love to hear, what was your favorite part of the Elite Nurse Coach Business Academy?
My favorite part was making the program. That was the most fun.
Oh,
Um, and getting, feedback on that. And I learned Trello from the program too, and that has been amazing. And my client that I'm working with right now loves Trello. So that was all my favorite part. The most needed part was all the business stuff and legal things. And I got my LLC and paying taxes and all this stuff that I had just never thought about before. So favorite though was making my program for sure.
awesome. I love it. Yeah, such an incredible program that you've created. So cool to be able to take all of your ideas and plug it into something that's absolutely changing lives. So awesome. I'd love to hear kind of how you feel now compared to before we started working together.
Yeah, I had always wanted to start some kind of business. I had never really figured it out until I found the nurse coaching, but it was just something always at the back of my head. And I've done other little webinar training type of stuff for business starting, and I still felt lost. Even when I had found nurse coaching, I was like, okay, well, now I don't know what to do in this area either. And now I feel very secure in what I'm doing. I know what I need to do and where I'm going. And I just feel very much more established in what I want to do with my business and my life. And before I was just kind of flailing all over the place, not really knowing how to settle down into something.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I love that you feel so secure. Like you built such a solid foundation and you know exactly what to do from like this point moving forward. That's incredible. Like all the progress that you made so fast. Okay, cool. And I'd love to hear what you're most proud of for yourself and what you've accomplished.
I think what I'm most proud of is basically the launching it, like I said, it's like something I've always thought about, and I've just never taken the step to actually do it. So that, and putting myself out there on social media, because I'm fairly introverted. I don't like to do things like that. And it becomes easier every day. And it's something I never thought I would do. I'm on social media, but I'm usually in the background watching, looking at people, and now I feel comfortable talking and posting and all of that. So that's another thing I'm super proud of. Something I
Yeah.
never thought I would do.
Oh, I know. Me too. I'm very introverted as well. So it's so cool to see how you come out of your comfort zone and been able to put yourself out there more. And you're feeling so much more comfortable now with posting and all of that. That's amazing. And I love your consistency in what you do too. Like, you're always showing up, always providing value. It's just really incredible to see. Awesome. So we'd love to hear about your program. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah. So my program is called Healing Mental Health for Healthcare Workers, and it has 5 different tracks that you can kind of participate in, basically. So the first month in every track is kind of assessing, getting to know who the person is, who the client is, and what their biggest concerns are. And that's kind of the whole first month, and teaching routines and habits and things like that that get you really grounded before we really dive into the mental health issues, because that can be kind of an intense topic for sure. And after that, we branch off into our different tracks. And the 5 tracks that I have are anxiety, depression, secondary trauma, compassion fatigue, and burnout. And these are all things that I have experienced personally. And I've put a lot of my own experiences into the program as well. And basically just teaching you, why you feel this way and how valid it is. Because I think a lot of healthcare workers, nurses, especially, and doctors feel like they need to be perfect, and we're not allowed to feel anxious. We're not allowed to feel depressed. We make a difference every day. Why do I hate my job? And things like that. So really validating those feelings, and then coming to a place where you love your job again, because everybody who works in healthcare wanted to be there to help people. They didn't do this for the money or whatever.
Right.
So getting back to that, and the tracks are very flexible. If people wanted to do more than one or things like that, we can cover pretty much all of it. And that's kind of the whole like framework basically of the classes in general. And it can be meeting with me every week or every other week, and we can basically just go over everything. And I provide a lot of validation, like I've said, and I've been there, and I've worked in the ICU, and I've seen all of this before. So I think that that helps a lot too. My client now has said that too, where it's like, I chose you as my coach because I know what
Yeah.
we see every day. So that's kind of the whole, it's very big, this 5-track thing, but I think it's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah.
I love it. Yeah, you created something so unique, and I love that it's so unique to you and your experiences. And I love that you're so relatable to your clients, and they just know that you understand them, you get them, and that's why they choose you to be their coach. So that's so cool. Like, the phenomenal work that you're doing. I love it. Awesome. And I'd love to hear kind of where you see yourself going from here. Like, what's your future?
Yeah, I think, I'm starting slow on purpose, because I do have a hard job, and I'm trying to live what I preach with not trying to overwhelm myself. Eventually, I would like to see being able to do it a little bit more full time, and be able to take a step back from clinical work a little bit. I'm not quite to the point where I want to leave it forever.
Yeah.
But I do think, and eventually having kids and being able to work from home, I think is such a valuable thing. And I would love to be able to do that in the future. So kind of slowly wading more into the coaching world, and slowly out of the clinical world a little bit, and growing even more, and reaching as many healthcare workers as I possibly can is my main number one goal for sure.
I love it. Yeah, you're making such a difference and such an impact. So cool. I love it. And where can people find you? How can they connect with you?
Yeah, so name on Facebook, Allison Sheely, one L in Allison, one L in Sheely. It's hard to spell those names. And then my website is npcoachallison.com. And my Facebook group is Healing Mental Health for Healthcare Workers. So if you can search for that, or there's a link on my Facebook page because it's hard to find groups sometimes. So it's linked on there. And then my Instagram is Allison_Sheely. So you can find me anywhere on those things. You can message me on all of them as well. But those are the main ones that I check social media wise for sure.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Allison. Like, we loved hearing about your background, your story, your program. Like, you're doing incredible work. And I'm just so proud of you for everything that you've accomplished. So thank you so much for your time here. I've loved working with you. I love your work ethic. You're just phenomenal. So just an incredible coach. So I'm really excited for your future.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for having me as a client in the program. It made a huge difference for me too. So
Yeah,
thank
absolutely. You're so welcome. Take care. Bye-bye.
you. Bye.